Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy King Skirsh here, and tonight we are doing another long-awaited Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. We're going to be doing my this is kind of my favorite deck. I'm well known with this deck at my locals that I've been doing online. Um, we're doing my Wind Witch Magispector, and yeah, this is like the only furry deck that I play. Um, this is the only furry deck that I play other than Lunalight and Yosenju. But, no, this is like, I play this as much as I love Lunalight more than this deck. This deck is the deck that I play more. And well known, my friends are with this deck. Couple things to note. Again, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded anything in like 2 weeks. Last video being my playthrough of Sonic CD. Yeah, I've been busy with work, and honestly, I just didn't really, I don't know, just kind of really didn't, kind of had a slump and just decided to take a little break. I have been making videos, so I have like 5 of them that I'm going to try and upload tonight, if not tomorrow for sure. When I get home from work tomorrow night. But yeah, I do have a bunch more Yu-Gi-Oh deck profiles for you guys. Like I said, I have a few decks, and the new ban list actually just dropped today. I'm not going to do anything on it. I kind of already looked it over. We have Double Iris at 2, Skullcrobat is back to 1, the Dragon Link got hit, so LP and Striker Dragon got put to 1, LP got put to 0. Other than that, there really wasn't. And Symbol of Heritage got taken off the list, but no one plays that anymore, so I don't really think it's going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, it should be an interesting format, and stores have been kind of opening up a little bit. Gnome Games is doing Yu-Gi-Oh! On Wednesdays, but I usually work on Wednesdays. As a matter of fact, I always work on Wednesdays. So, yeah. But like I said, I have been still buying product and stuff online and stuff, and I even started playing Pokemon too. I know. I have a Pokemon deck. It's going to be 2 decks. That's all I need, because I just play with my buddies. My buddies can instantly play Pokemon. It's a lot cheaper. But I will try to continue to upload videos whenever I can. I appreciate all you guys waiting and stuff like that. For videos. Excuse me. Alright. So that's enough. That's just kind of a quick little channel update. Let's get started with the deck profile, guys. So for those of you who don't know, let me just kind of go over the deck background and what it does. So it's a combination of 2 decks. The Magispectors are a bunch of wind spellcasters who they all have their pendulum monsters. Their scales are 2 and 5. One of their cards is actually currently forbidden, but they're all based off of mythical animals. So you have, and basically they all search on summon. It's basically a back row deck. You have the monsters. You have raccoon, cat, fox, crow, toad, and unicorn, who is banned. Kirin was Magispector Unicorn Kirin. Those of you who don't know, was a really broken card. Because the Magispectors have built-in protection, so they can't be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects. So, in other words, Imperm, Veiler, anything that targets or anything that destroys, that your opponent activates. Raigeki, Dark Hole, Dragoon can't even kill him. But in exchange for that, they all kind of have mediocre stats, and Master Rule 4 kind of shot pendulums in the crack and basically limited their ability to swarm the field. And then their spells and traps. They all focus on tributing spellcaster type monsters, wind spellcaster monsters to activate effects. You have Tornado, which it's basically you get to tribute a wind spellcaster to banish a monster on the field that your opponent controls, targets and banishes. Tempest, which is searchable, which is basically a Solemn Strike, except without the life. You have to tribute, but you can negate the summon or negate the activation of the monster effect and destroy it, and it's a counter trap. You have Gust, which no one plays. It lets you summon a Pendulum monster in the Pendulum Zone, a Magic Spectre from the Pendulum Zone, but again, no one plays that shit. You play Cyclone, one or two of. It basically is a quick play spell. You tribute one wind spellcaster monster, target one card your opponent controls and destroys it. So Cyclone destroys, Tornado banishes. You have Supercell, which some people play and some people don't, but it basically becomes so where if you have a Magic Spectre card in your Pendulum Zone, your Magic Spectre cards and effects can't be negated. So, but stuff can still be activated in response. So, like if your opponent were to, if you were to summon, let's say you were to summon summon any Magic Spectre monster, activate the effect of Search, and they ash you. If you already have Supercell up, they can still ash it, but its effect won't be negated. You still get to Search. It's a one-of. So yeah, they do things, and I will kind of go in depth a little bit and kind of explain some more of the combos. But the Magic Spectres are incredibly weak. I mean, literally, their main deck is their most powerful monster is QB, and QB only has 1,800 attack points with the field spell boost. You can make her 2,000 if you play Rising Air Current, which is a tech card I would consider playing. But with the Wind Witch engine, they're also wind spellcasters, but they focus around swarming the field with synchro summons. And in case you don't know, they have a one-card Crystal Wing, which is actually really good. I mean, you have Ice Spell, Special Glass from deck, Glass searches Snow, Snow Bell, Special Snow Bell, Sync for 7 into Winter Bell, Burn for whatever, +4 +3 is 7, and then you go 7 + 1 is 8, Crystal Wing, and the Crystal Wing can't be destroyed by card effects, and you have a monster in the game. So it just kind of helps out with more extra deck plays, so that's why I play it the way that I will explain. So that's a little bit of a background about the deck. I really do think that's enough talking for me. A little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! History out of the way. So for the monsters, we play, or at least I play, 3 Fox Girl. Well, she's not a girl, but well, I'm gonna assume she's a female. But you play 3 Magic Spectre Fox Hubie. Basically, on summon, so normal or special summon, you can add 1 Magic Spectre trap card from your deck to your hand. She's a 2 scale. All of the Magic Spectres, their pendulum scales don't go any higher than 5. Even though Magic Spectre Unicorn Kieran was a level 6, some people would take an Archfiend Eccentric, because then you could pendulum summon it. But I will explain Magic Spectre. I will explain all the effects of the Magic Spectres. And I'll even explain what Kieran did later on. But yeah, play 3 Fox. Fox searches, like I said, searches your Magic Spectre spells for traps on summon, normal or special summon. And like I mentioned before, all the Magic Spectres have the built-in effect where they cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So you can only use the effect of Magic Spectre Fox once per turn. Let's see if I can zoom in there. Sorry if I seem like I'm rambling. I'm just trying to kind of give you a little bit of an in-depth and kind of what. And we might go over some test combos and we might go over a test combo at the end of the video. We'll see. Next, another monster you need to play 3 of. You play 3 Raccoon, or as I like to call them, Marine the Raccoon's uncle from Sonic the Hedgehog. But Raccoon searches a monster on summon. He also is your rank 3 enabler. Your rank 3 enabler. To let you go into like Totem Bird or some other options that I'll explain extra later on. He's a scale 5. Can't be targeted, destroyed by card effects. Your opponent's card effects. Next, I run 3 Cat. Cat is a search any card, but I arguably cut Cat down to 2, but I'm only playing 3 to kind of keep my ratios the way I like the ratios that I play right now, just for scales and with the Wind Witches and stuff. But 3 Cat, he searches any Magic Spectre card during the end phase of the turn. He's the one that has the most defense, has 1800 defense, which really isn't terrible. But yeah, he's another. You use Raccoon and Cat to be able to, again, kind of go into some rank 3 plays if you want. If you're playing pure Magic Spectre, you could do rank 3 and rank 4 plays. Again, with the Master Rule 4, it kind of, or Master Rule 3, it kind of Master Rule 4 kind of hit Pendulums a little bit. So you kind of have, if you want to focus on Pendulum Summon, that's fine, but this deck with the Wind Witches focuses more on Synchro Summoning and a little bit of XZ Summoning too. You're not really focused on Pendulum Summoning at all because you can only use their effects once per turn, so if they get like Solemn Striked or whatever, it's like shit. Next, I only play 2 Toad, again, just to kind of keep with ratios. Toad is weird, but again, I also play Ties in this deck, which is another key card, but Toad basically sets a Magic Spectre spell trap from your deck, but it can't be activated this turn. The turn you activate that effect. So, yeah, I only play 2 Toad. And next, because we have to, we play the 1 Crow Boy. We play the 1 Crow Boy, adds a Magic Spectre spell, Cyclone, and maybe Sonics if you tech in a copy of Sonics, that's fine too. But no, you just search the 1 Cyclone and typically do that. Now for the Wind Witches. Most people typically standard, if they're playing Wind Witch Magic or Wind Witch Engine, they usually play 3 ice, 3 glass, or 3 ice, 2 glass, 1 snow. Mine is a little bit different because the Wind Witch has also recently got some new support in Blazing Vortex, and so I'm kind of adjusting my ratios on that. I'll explain my combos in a second. But yes, like most people, of course, I play 3 ice spell. You always want to open up with Ice Bell because that's the 1 card Crystal Wing. Ice Bell effect states, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then you can special summon a Wind Witch monster from your deck. But for the rest of this turn, after this effect resolves, those special summon monsters can't be tributed. Also, you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck except for level 5 or higher wind monsters, which is fine. Crystal Wing's level 8, Winter Bell's level 7, Clear Wing and them are level 7 as well, so that really shouldn't be a problem. It's a great, Wind Witches are a really nice combo. They help you get your play started, and they are, in case you haven't noticed, they are wind spellcasters, so if you... it generates board presence, so it's very good to have. Like I said, this is where my ratios kind of go off a little bit different. Most people play 2, but I play 3 only because I play Desires in this deck. I play 3 Glass Bell. Basically, Glass Bell, when it's unsummoned, you can add a Wind Witch monster from your deck to your hand. But also you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for winds, which isn't a problem. And I actually forgot to mention another obligatory effect on Ice Bell that you can use sometimes. You can burn your opponent for 500 too with Ice Bell. But most people play 2, but I played 3 because, again, I play Desires, and you don't want to open up with her, but it's not, with some of the new Wind Witch cards, it really isn't as bad if you open up with her, because you can still get a Synchro Summon off with a couple of the other Wind Witches, which I'll explain later in a quick moment. But yeah, she's your main tuner, your level 4 tuner for the deck. Next, to kind of keep with the synergy, I play 2 Snowbell. She can summon herself if you control 2 or more wind monsters. And a Synchro monster using her as Synchro material becomes immune to your opponent's card effects, so it can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, which is nice. I mean, having a 3000 monster negate that can basically has a self built-in honest and can negate monster effects, it can't be destroyed by card effects. It's pretty nice. Crystal Wing. I'm referring to Crystal Wing, by the way. But there's some other cheeky things that you can do with Snowbell too. It's a free summon. She's a wind spellcaster if you ever need her to tribute for your tribute fodder for your spells and traps. Next, I play 2 Freeze Bell. Now, this is one of the new ones that came out in Blazing Vortex. And basically, she can summon herself once per turn if all monsters you control are Wind Witch, or if you control no monsters. You can only special summon her from the hand once per turn this way. And then she can also increase her level by 1 as well, which may not seem that useful, but you can use her for level 3 and you can use her for level 4 in case you have something and you want to go for the level 4's Magispectors and you have Ties of Brethren in your hand. Alright, summon her, use her effect to increase her level, activate Ties, and you can get the level 4s out. Or you can just leave her as level 3s. It's kind of versatile. Some people consider bumping her down to 1, but I like 2 at the moment only because there's other ways you can search her. She can only be special summoned from the hand once per turn, but there's cards that you can special summon from deck. And literally this plus a Freeze Bell plus a Snow Bell equals you can make an indestructible Chambara. So because when she's used for Synchro material, Freeze Bell is, that Synchro monster can't be destroyed by battle, and then Snowbell protects from card effects, so you basically can just increase the level by 1, 4 plus 1 is 5, and then, yeah, have an indestructible Chambara, which can actually save you. I mean, you could just sit there on a wall, so actually kind of nice, kind of cheeky plays. Next, I play 3 Win the Wind Channeler. This one, I've been really debating on. Basically, if you have another wind monster in your hand, you can discard her you use her to search Ice Bell, or search any wind monster with 1500 defense, or whatever. 1500 less defense when you deck your hand, which is basically searches all your monsters except for Magispector Cat. But it really kind of hurts when she gets ashed, because then you're basically losing 2 resources. And if you draw multiples, it's like, I don't know. I really like her, but there are times where I don't like her. But yes, she basically searches Ice Bell, and you can go off with your Wind Witch combo if it doesn't get ashed. She can summon herself when a wind spellcaster is destroyed by battle to the field, but on field she doesn't really do anything. So I am really, when some of the new there's some new wind support cards coming out soon. I'm thinking about just bumping her down to 2. Yeah, she's like a $8 to $10 card for some reason, but I'm considering bumping her down to 2 and trying out some of the other cards. But for right now, it's fine the way it is. I mean, it hurts when it's ashed, but yeah, I kind of like her. I think she's really good, but sometimes it's like, I don't want gets ash, because you're losing 2 resources. It's like when it gets ash, it's just like, you know, it hurts. It hurts. It really does hurt when she gets ash. But if she doesn't, that isn't the best thing in the world. That isn't the worst thing in the world either. I mean, so that's it for the monsters. Now for the spells, again, I have been playing. This is another card I've been debating on, but it's been working fine for me. I play 3 Desires. Yes, I know I play 3, but Desires is one of those cards that you either play 3 or you don't play it at all. I can play it at 2. Are you gonna resolve all 3? No, but this deck has really shitty draw consistency. Like, in terms of drawing and stuff, you kind of need that extra draw, and you're playing multiple copies and everything. So the chances of you, which is why I'm playing the 3 Blast Spell and 3 and 2 and you're playing a lot of 2 or 3 of, so you're not really worried about what you banish. The chance of drawing Desires off of Desires is very slim. Again, I'm going to be adjusting these ratios once the new once some more cards come out, because there are some really good cards that I'm thinking about incorporating. It'll take me time to figure it out yet. But yes, I play 3 Desires. And the other thing is, if you have Extras, or Prosperities, you can play them. But my issue with Extrav is you're playing a lot of one-ofs in your extra deck, and a lot of those are like key cards, so I'd rather be able to go into my key cards and kind of win the duel that way than I kind of rely more. It's a matter of preference. I mean, it's really a matter of preference at this point, player preference, but I prefer Desires and just banish my deck than to banish my extra deck, because we're playing ratios, you know? Playing more from your extra deck or any of that, that's just the way I like to do it with this deck. And it hasn't been terrible. There have been a couple times where I've gotten a couple of shit draws, or it's been Ash Blossom, but whatever. I personally like it. It's been working okay for me. Next, 3 ties. You need to play 3, no exceptions. It's Magispector. I mean, you need to swarm the field. The more monsters you have, the more wind spellcaster monsters you have in the field, the better. Again, the new Master Rule 4 kind of nerfed all the Pendulum decks, but you need to have wind spellcaster monsters in the field. That's why this deck is background. You can only set 3 spell traps if you have your Pendulum Zones, you know, so you kind of have to play a little bit more strategically with the deck, but you need ties. Again, you can even target a Wind Witch and you get a raccoon and a cat. You still get a search off the raccoon. You know, you can just do things. Next, I only play 2 Majesty's Pegasus. This is another key card that basically gives all your Magispectors a 300 attack and defense point boost. And then you tribute a Wind Spellcaster, special summon a level 4 to special summon a level 4 or lower Magispector from your deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Again, it kind of helps you tribute and recycle to swarm the field. You only need 2. You can play 3, but I think you personally only need 2. Next, I play 2 Wind Witch Chimes. You target a Wind Witch monster you control with and special summon a Wind Witch monster with a different level from that monster you targeted. Basically, it's kind of another combo play enabler. Helps you increase your chance of being able to go into crystalling and perform some more synchros. There is a one witch that I don't play. I don't play Blizzard Bell. Blizzard Bell is kind of iffy. She's level 5. She's just really awkward. If you want to incorporate her, that's fine. But I just only play 2 chimes. You only need 2. You don't need to play 3 because you're either gonna be banishing them or drawing them, and it's fine. If you sometimes it's a brick, sometimes it's not. I feel like 2 chimes is fine, based on my win-witch ratios. The 1 terraforming because it's terraforming, crystal field spells. The 1 cyclone, tribute a wind spellcaster type monster to target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. And the last of the spells, we play the 1 Secret Village. Shuts off your opponent's spells if you control a spellcaster, which is really nice. If you want, you can cut this for Rising Air Current. If you want your deck to be a little bit more offensive, if you want to give your deck a little bit more power in terms of being a little bit more offensive, but Magispectors are definitely defensive, for sure. I mean, they're offensive with their extra deck, but no, they're very defensive. They play defensive. But no, Rising Air Current is a good option because yeah, they'll lose 400 defense, but your Crystal Wing will literally have 3,500 attack, and your Clue Wing will have 3,000 attack. So it's like, sometimes that could be nice in a little pinch. You could have a Totem Bird that's 2,400, you know, that's not bad, but no, Secret Village is probably the better option of that, which is the reason why I play it at the ratio that I play it at. Alright, for the traps. 1 Supercell. This is the card that basically says if you have a Magispector card in your Pendulum Zone, your activation of effects cards and effects, Magispector cards and effects can't be negated. You can target 5 Magispector cards in your graveyard, shuffle them back in the deck and draw a card. I only play it for the recycling because, you know, even though you might be banishing a few, I feel like this is kind of important for later on. This has come up and this has saved my ass a couple of times because you look through your stuff pretty quick. Next, I play 2 Tornado. Banish a monster your opponent controls, so target and then banish after tributing a wind spellcaster. I play last for the Magispector spell and traps. I play 2 Tempest. It's basically Solemn Strike. When your opponent activates a monster effect, tribute 1 wind spellcaster type monster, negate the activation or summon, special summon, and destroy that card. And then for the last 2 trap cards, I'm really considering I play 2 Solemn Judgment. Only for room. Solemn Judgment is a great card, but I would highly recommend playing some more battle traps like Storming or Quaking. Your pick. You can play one of each, or you can play 2 Storming or 2 Quaking. However you want to do it, because just to have a little bit more protection. I mean, yeah, this negates anything, but they're already immune to card effects, so, which is another thing I like. They can dodge Solemn in a way, you know. So like, by dodging, I mean if you normal summon a Raccoon and then they activate Solemn Strike, after you activate the effect will be negated, but it won't be destroyed. Your Raccoon will still stay on the field. So they can kind of dodge cards like that, which is pretty nice, and it is helpful. But if their summons are negated, then you're kind of screwed. yeah, I would get rid of these and play either two storming, two quaking, or two quaking, or one of each, because quaking is good for just flipping monsters face down, and then you can just get rid of them that way. And storming just returns everything in the hand. They both don't target. You could even throw a freaking wall of disruption if you wanted to. Like, I would recommend playing a couple more battle traps just for a little bit more protection, because Magic Specters are weak, unfortunately. But Solemn Judgment is okay for right now. I kind of just threw these last two cards in, so I don't think I need to play Solemn Judgment. I feel like my deck is the way my deck is built. I feel like I personally kind of like lose, because you're paying half, and it's like, okay, are you really paying half for a Dark Ruler? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good card, but I don't think Solemn Judgment is good in this deck the way I play it at the moment. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's talk about the extra deck here. So, we'll start with the Synchros here.
This is for you.
I personally play 2 Winterbell. The reason why I play 2 is because board presence. Her effect is once per turn, you can target 1 Wind monster in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal its level times 200. And then during either player's battle phase, you can target 1 Wind monster you control. Special summon 1 monster from your hand whose level is lower or equal to the monster that you targeted, but it can't attack. So it's more board presence. You can bump her down the 1 and replace 1 with Wind Pegasus of Adignister, or you can play Clearwing Fast Dragon if you want. I do have those options. I do realize those options available to me, but right now I like playing 2 because it's a little bit more board presence. Clearwing Fast Dragon's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I hate the fact that their scales don't, Magic Spectre scales don't go to scale 8. So once you use the Fast Dragon, it's like, once it dies, you're not bringing it back the rest of the duel. Unless you're playing Pendulum Reborn or some other cockamamie BS, and we don't have room for that. So, if you wanted to play, like I said, if you want to play one of these, that's fine. Just replace it with a Wind Pegasus of Adignister, and that would be okay too. Next, I played the one Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Everyone loves Clearwing. It's Monster Negate. Once per turn, you can either play this turn with a level 5 or higher monster's effect activated. You can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Also, once per turn, during either player's turn, when a card effect that targets a level 5 or higher monster on the field is activated, you can negate the activation if you do destroy it. And then both those effects are once per turn, and they're quick effects, and if either of these if Clearwing uses either of those effects, she gains attack equal to the attack of the destroyed monster until the end of the turn. So, just the one Clearwing, she's good. Yes, and I said she is confirmed. She is, if you base her off her lore with the Pendulum Magicians, her counterpart would be White Wing, and White Wing's a female, so we can assume that Clearwing is a female. That's what I'm going off of the lore. Fun fact. 1 Chambara, because it can attack twice, and again, you can do the cheeky play where Ice Bell plus Snow Bell equals Indestructible Chambara, can attack twice, and gets bigger every time it attacks. So, very easy to go into. Every time it battles, it gains 200 attack, so you can, even if you wanted to, you can just keep on punching stuff and taking a little bit of damage and just getting it stronger. And lastly, for the Synchros, I play 1 Stardust Dragon. It's in case someone tries to destroy cards on your field, it's an Omni Negate for anything that would destroy a card in the field. When a Spell Trap monster effect is activated that would destroy a card in the field, you contribute this card, negate the activation if you destroy that card. And then it revives itself during the end phase. So, play the 1 Stardust Dragon for another layer of negate protection. 1 Crystal Wing because that's all we need. Crystal Wing negates monster effects and has a self-built-in honest effect. When it battles level 5 or higher monster, basically it says your opponent will always be taking 3,000 damage. That's all. Because it gains attack equal to the attack of the level 5 or higher monster it battles. And then when a monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation and destroy that card. And then it gains attack equal to the attack of the destroyed monster. So basically, it ensures that your opponent's always taking 3,000. Lastly, I play 1 Diamond Bell. Diamond Bell is here. It's an interesting card. I mean, it helps pop card, I'll tell you that. Basically, she's like Winterbell. When she's synchro summoned, you can target one monster in your one witch monster in your graveyard, burn your opponent equal to the attack, equal to half its attack. So it's a little bit of burn damage. So if you target Winterbell, your opponent will be taking 1,200 points of damage. And then every time your opponent, if your opponent would take damage, battle or card effect damage, you can target one card in the field, destroy it. And if you use only Wind Witches to synchro summon her, you can use that effect twice per turn, which is kind of nice. Non-targeting destruction. It just kind of blows. Well, actually, it does target, but you can just kind of blow up. You can just kind of blow up and do a little bit of extra burn damage, and it's easy to go into her and protect her from battle or something like that. Kind of a niche card, but yeah. So that's it for the synchros. For the XZs, I play 1 Daigusto Emerald. Shuffles monsters into draw a card. Recycles your monsters. And it, monster born from normal monsters, but yeah. Play 1 Daigusto Emerald because he's at 1 for a reason. Good card. Castel, flip a monster face down or is an out to any problematic cards like Beals or any of those cards where they can't be destroyed with battle card effects or whatever. Very helpful in certain situations. Chidori, again, kind of spins back cards. Spins back row. And just puts stuff on top of the deck, clearing the board for to attack. If you wanted to play more synchros, I would recommend playing a Hama the Conquering Bow. That's a level 8, and that one's actually pretty good too. But yeah, this is just what I play for right now. And then for the rank 3s, I play 1 Totem Bird, negate spells and traps. Again, another negate. And 1 Gossiping Shadow, because Gossiping Shadow is a monster negate technically. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster activates its effect, you can detach 2, negate the activated effect because both players draw 1 card, and he basically replenishes himself with a number of XZs and attaches himself with the materials that he has onto a number of XZs, which is why Rango was banned. Next for the links, we play 1 Wind Charmer. Steals wind monster from your opponent's graveyard, and then when she dies, you get to search, which is very important. You get to add a monster with 1,500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. So she basically does what the Wind Chandler does. 1 Great Fly because, again, your entire deck is wind, and unfortunately they're all weak. So it's basically Rising Air Current. Gives all your monsters 500 attack defense point boost. All Earth monsters lose 400 attack and defense. If it dies, you get another search. And for the last of the monsters, I play 1 Appaloosa. Again, more monster negates. And she is a wind monster, so, you know, she can be powered up by stuff. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys really did enjoy this deck profile. I do have some more deck profiles for you guys in the future. I don't know when. Again, I'm working on trying to get these videos out tonight, maybe tomorrow night. I have a few Sonic videos and stuff that I've been playing through, and again, I apologize for keeping you guys waiting. I've been doing okay, like I said. So, as always, if you guys like these kind of videos, please feel free to leave a like on my videos, leave a comment, or even subscribe, or even leave a I'm always up for suggestive feedback for how to improve my decks and make them better, and become a better duelist. And yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time. King Scourge is out of here, y'all. Peace.